in Gulf Shores, we took a trip over to Fort Morgan because we are big history buffs.
We are history buffs, especially G. G loves history.
Fort Morgan was built by hand.
It was.
30 million bricks. That is a lot of bricks.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this, so that's the actual construction of Fort Morgan that you have. But before Fort Morgan was there, we actually had a wooden fort there. And that came in 1815, and then in the 1830s, they started building Fort Morgan. It was actually in existence in the Civil War.
It was the site of the final major naval battle in the Civil War.
And this is also the site where Farraget actually gave out his legendary command, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. That really kind of sealed it for the Union. Fort Morgan participated in the Civil War. Fort Morgan participated in World War I. Now, as you went forward, it actually became, it went into ruins. The state of Alabama actually bought it in 1927. They got a heck of a deal. How much they pay for that?
$8,000. Now, unrealized that was back in 1927.
That's right. So today,
it's still a really neat place to visit and walk around and just see some of the different rooms. But as you're walking around, you want to keep your eye open for some little mice. These are little beach mice.
are they like a beach ball?
No, they're not.
You like mice so much.
No. While we were there, I did not see any, and I'm really glad.
Yeah, because she would have been in the car.
But you really want to keep your eye out for any little creatures around the fort.
Yes, and they're an unusual population, and that's why they kind of, I won't say they protect them, but they deal with them. But we didn't see them. They don't come around that much.
They can be there.
Just know they can be there. Also, the beach all around the fort's really beautiful, as all the beaches are down there. But it is interesting to go out on the beach and actually look back at the fort, and you can see how the sand has actually piled up against it, and now it's a hill. But understand that there was a wall there back in when it was first built. It's very interesting. If you look at it from overhead, it's the standard star design, so that you actually had firing points on the end of each star, and so that way you're actually catching people in a crossfire. Straight out of Europe, the designs that you saw over there brought over here in the 1800s. So it's a really interesting place to be. It's a cool place to carry kids and stuff and just talk about it. Even when you're standing where the 10-inch guns were actually mounted in World War I, those are huge holes. And just look on the walls. They tied the guns down with chains, and those rings are still there where they tied them to, so when they went off, they didn't come out. So just the force that's involved in stuff that was over 100 years ago kind of amazes the historian in me.
Right.
So
you are a history buff.
I love the history. I do love the history. So if that's something that you want to do, we highly recommend it. We think it would be a cool place. If you wanted to make a day of it, you've been on the beach too much, you could go to Fort Morgan, you could do that. And then right there beside Fort Morgan is the entrance to get onto the ferry that can carry you to Dolphin Island. On Dolphin Island, you've got the Marine Sea Lab over there, which is interesting for the kids. They bring in animals that are injured and stuff, and they try to rehab them. It runs regular hours, and you can actually tour that place and see some really cool aquatic animals. You never know what's going to be in there, but they're trying to rehabilitate those guys back to health. Plus, Dolphin Island's a really cool place, just kind of a throwback in time. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
We'll see you next time
on Mimi and G.